Joshua was. What a platform to understand his teaching in reference to his own culture. What a platform to have an insight into the whole first coming of the Messiah and the whole second coming of the Messiah. What an insight into just having contact with heaven just through this point of contact. And the feasts are the appointed times. I take it a step further. They're appointments with God. Now, the thing that really intrigues me is you went to a healing meeting. Even though you're praying for people that are being healed, you go to a healing meeting, and our friend, who's been a guest many times on this show, Bill Johnson, is teaching on healing. But somehow you ended up in front and him prayed for you. What happened?
Yeah, a friend of mine introduced me to him, and Bill Johnson laid hands on me, and he said, "You wear many mantles like Joseph," and he gave me this word, and God began to speak to me through that. He said to me, "Jason, you've known me as the son of Joseph, as the suffering servant, but you haven't fully known me as the son of David. You've known me as the lamb, but not fully as the lion. Don't settle for a form of godliness that lacks power. The greatest revival in the history of the world is coming, and it's rooted in supernatural signs and healings, and you need to pray for the sick, and you will see me do incredible things to impact people's lives."
Well, what happened when Bill Johnson laid hands on you?
Oh man, I felt the presence of God. I felt the anointing of God. And out of that, I had this encounter with God in that meeting where I understood that every believer, including myself, needed to be activated in supernaturally ministering to people. And what happened is, shortly thereafter, I get invited to a Messianic congregation to speak, and I go forward and I say, "Before I speak, can I just pray for people that might need healing?" We never even got to the message because so many people came forward for prayer, and one of the elders of the congregation who had a muscular dystrophy wound up getting supernaturally healed. The rabbi walks into the congregation the next week. He sees her dancing. She could barely walk sometimes. He's like, "How is this possible?" He's like, "I got healed."
Just out of curiosity, you had seen some healings before, but they evidently, after Bill prayed for you, they really increased with intensity.
There was an activation in my life, and although I had encountered that, you know, sometimes it takes it being stirred up and us being encouraged and exhorted to walk in it. And I began to walk in it in a new way as a result of that, and started to see many supernatural things.
And then after becoming a strong believer, now he's taken to heaven again. Tell me about the trip.
Oh, it was incredible. So, I mean, after all of this happens, I'm like, "Lord, I want to encounter you. I want to have a supernatural encounter with you." So I'm praying, and again, all of a sudden, my body begins to vibrate, and the next thing I know, I'm standing in heaven, and I'm standing before the throne, and there's a throng of worshipers around the throne of the Lord, and every time a syllable comes out of their mouth, my entire body shakes like a bass drum under the power of the worship and of the presence of God in heaven. And I hear two songs being sung. One is a Hebrew song, okay, singing about the Rock of Israel, and one was like a contemporary worship song. And I say to the Lord, "What does this mean?" And the Lord brought me to the book of Revelation, where it says, "They sang the song of Moses and the Lamb," and spoke to me saying, "This represents the revival that's going to happen great revival that's going to happen, and is going to happen as a result of Jew and Gentile coming together." The song of Moses represented the song of the Jewish people, and the song of the Lamb represented the New Testament and the believer song. And when those two songs merge, it's a picture of Jew and Gentile, the one new man coming together that's going to help usher in a great move of God, the greatest move of God the world has seen.
Well, could it be that in the book of Romans, it says that it will, when the Jews come to Messiah, it will literally be life from the dead. Yes. But could it be more than what most people think? Could it be a release of the glory like a measure the world has never seen? Is that what God's showing you?
Exactly. That's what I believe he's showing me.
Traditional rabbis under the Old Covenant call this the decade of breakthrough. Did you know that? How much more breakthrough is under the better covenant, the Brit Hadashah, the new covenant? Many will experience breakthrough, healing, and deliverance when Rabbi Jason will blow the shofar over you, and everything that from the past. Be right back.
We will be right back to It's Supernatural. Call now and get Rabbi Jason Sobel's anointed book, Aligning with God's Appointed Times, and his powerful 3-part audio CD teaching series, The Decade of Breakthrough. It's exclusive for our It's Supernatural audience. Yours for a donation of $35. Shipping and handling is included. Ask for offer number 9749. You will receive Rabbi Jason Sobel's anointed book, Aligning with God's Appointed Times. Rabbi Sobel will introduce you to the Jewish roots of Christianity. Discover the prophetic and spiritual meaning of the biblical feasts. Understand that the biblical Jewish feasts are to be a part of the lives of all followers of Messiah. Gain a heightened biblical perspective as you begin to practice the same traditions and rituals Jesus embraced. Find out how aligning with God's appointed times will help you discover more of God and His intended blessings for you. Understand how the feasts will open the door to a fresh fullness of the inheritance you are able to access as a born-again spiritual son or daughter of the one true God.
The biblical holidays are not just about past remembrances. They are meant to be reactivations in your life.
You will also receive Rabbi Sobel's powerful 3-part audio CD teaching series, The Decade of Breakthrough. We are now entering an unprecedented supernatural decade, and he reveals how you can access your healing, your miracle, and God's supernatural breakthrough for your life. In this series, you will understand the prophetic importance of this time in the Jewish calendar. Learn how the power of declarations can accelerate your breakthrough. Discover the supernatural keys to become an overcomer. Realize how to transform the chaos in your life and around you into blessings. Find out how to tap into the favor of God in 2021. Throughout this series, Rabbi Jason releases powerful declarations and blessings. Don't miss out on getting Rabbi Jason Sobel's anointed book, Aligning with God's Appointed Times, and his powerful 3-part audio CD teaching series, The Decade of Breakthrough. It's